legs. Today we're gonna make one of my favorites, shrimp and grits. Well, there are tons of recipes out there for this. There's probably more recipes for this than there is for pound cake. So if you have one you like, great. This is just the way I do it. It's a little different. I've watched a couple of the recipes and I don't think I make it exactly the same as anybody. Not that it's any better, not that it's any worse, it's just different. And this is just something I've picked up along the way and put together and kind of made my own, as most recipes should be. In any event, what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna chop everything up. I'm gonna cut the sausage into half the sausage will be cut diced and the other half will be cut into half moons. Then I'm gonna season the shrimp. I'm gonna set all of that in the fridge first because I'm not gonna cook for a few hours. This is just prep time. I'm gonna dice up an onion, half of an orange bell pepper, half of a green bell pepper, 5 or 6 cloves of garlic, some celery, and mince up some garlic and a whole bushel of green onions. When we're gonna cook, what we're gonna do is cook off the sausage, take that out the pan, and put in the Trinity. Make a roux after that. I don't want a medium dark roux, not a full dark roux. Then I'm going to add some chicken stock and the garlic and let that just kind of stew for about 45 minutes. When everything cooks down, everything comes together, I'm going to add a little bit of heavy cream, a little bit of chicken base. With this one, and yes, I'm using chicken stock and chicken base, not shrimp stock or shrimp base because I'm in Ohio now and can't find the stock on a can. And it's winter still, so it's kind of hard to find the New Orleans shrimp that comes in with the heads on it still. So I want to use New Orleans shrimp. So I'm using some frozen New Orleans shrimp that's already been shelled and cleaned, so I can't make stock. But for all you other people in the Midwest, chicken stock will work great in this case. Shrimp stock is a little better, but chicken stock will work as a decent substitute. Nobody tells you all that. I am going to also season the sauce with some Lea Perrins and some pico pepper. There'll be more down in the description of the video as well as the attached narrative. But for now, let me just get started with getting the prep work done.
All right, so to get started, we're going to dice up a onion, half a green bell pepper, an entire orange bell pepper because it's small. If it was a larger one, I would just do half, along with 2 stalks of celery, a bushel of green onions, some parsley, some oregano, and 5 to 6 toes of garlic. We're going to go ahead and when we prep this up, we're going to put the onions, bell pepper, and celery in one container, and the green onions, parsley, oregano, and garlic in a separate container because we're going to start off with the Trinity before we move on to the other vegetables. So yeah, all the prep work's just about done. We're just going to put some seasoning on the shrimp right now. We'll do that real quick while y'all are still here. All right, we're going to season the shrimp with some slappy mama Cajun seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic, along with a little bit of cayenne pepper. And we're going to go ahead and roll that all together in a bowl. And then we're going to move on to dicing up the sausage. We're going to dice up half the sausage, and the other half the sausage we're going to cut in half and make it in kind of like half moons and set that on the side as well. Prep work is done. Everything's cut up. Everything's ready to go. It's all going to get put in the fridge so the shrimp can marinate and everything else can just kind of sit there and get happy. And we'll be back to cook in probably about 3 or 4 hours. So catch up with y'all later. So to get started, we're going to get a cast iron skillet nice and hot and add in some butter, a little bit of olive oil, and then the sausage. I'm going to go ahead and get the sausage kind of brown. My primary goal here is to try and render out most of the fat out of the sausage. Then we're going to remove the sausage altogether and add in the Trinity. After the Trinity's in, we're going to let that cook down quite a bit. Roughly, you're going to want to look for the onions to get kind of translucent and the overall size of the Trinity to basically get cut in half. Then we'll add in 2 or 3 tablespoons of flour, make a quick roux. Once the roux's kind of thick and pasty, you'll see it in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and add in some chicken stock. And with the chicken stock, go ahead and reduce by half. Then add a little bit more chicken stock. Let it simmer a little bit. Add in the sausage and the parsley, green onions, and garlic. Put the lid on it and let that cook for about 35 to 40 minutes. And after that, we'll go ahead and add in the heavy cream and then let that cook for another 20 minutes. Alright, once this comes together, after you add in the sausage and the rest of the herbs, you want to go ahead and add in 2 or 3 shakes of Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of pick and pepper or your favorite hot sauce. Here's what it'll look like after you add in the heavy cream. You're going to fold that together and get that all working together and looking like uniform. Once it gets hot, you can go ahead and add in about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of chicken base. While that's simmering, we're going to start the grits. We're going to go ahead and do secret with grits is half stock or water and half milk. So while the grits are working, we'll go back and we'll add the shrimp into the skillet with the sauce. Get the shrimp working together. Once the grits are done, we'll turn the heat off and add in the cheese. I added about 6 ounces of sharp cheddar this time. Usually I add Colby Jack. I want to do the sharp cheddar this time just to give it a little different flavor. But whatever cheese you like is fine. Once that's melted in together, you go ahead and get another skillet nice and hot and add in 6 to 8 shrimp out of the original batch. And you're going to want to saute those or blacken them and use those as a garnish on top of everything once it's all plated up. Once these shrimp are done, everything else is done, and you can go ahead and plate up with the grits at the bottom, the sauce on top, and then the garnished shrimp and the white part of the green onions on top. Enjoy.